Future Fund and major Westpac investors are threatening to dump the entire Westpac board unless more directors follow CEO Brian Hartzer out of the bank.
Mr Hartzer was pushed out as the bank battles the fallout of its money laundering and child exploitation scandal. Investors also want guarantees from senior management that a scandal like this won't happen again.
Despite AUSTRAC's explosive case against Westpac causing condemnation from both the public and political alike, the bank bosses were hoping to weather the storm.
The behaviour at Westpac under Brian Hartzer's leadership was nothing short of disgraceful.
A sentiment shared across the political aisle, Treasurer Frydenberg revealing he'd been in contact with the bank and the regulators.
I made clear the seriousness of those issues, but also the bank itself and the board itself has been having many meetings, including with its own shareholders.
It's those shareholders who will be making the call in just over 2 weeks whether to vote against the board's pay packets at the next annual general meeting. That would trigger a spill of the board. Instead, CEO Brian Hartzer made the call to step down just 4 days after vowing to stay on. Chair Lindsay Maxted also agreeing to bring his retirement forward to next year. Westpac's denied it was slow to act.
And whilst it seems like an eternity to me, and I'm sure to you in terms of how long we've known about this, it is only 6 days.
Yet again, the bank didn't front up to cameras as questions mount from both shareholders and customers. Instead, Westpac sought the shield of a phone hookup with journalists, where new CEO Peter King was contrite about the bank's failings.
I also want to pass on my deep sorrow for Westpac's failings. I've worked at Westpac for 25 years. I know our people, and I know they have the highest integrity and are committed to doing their very best.
Brian Hartzer standing down effective immediately, but will still receive $2.7 million, his base pay for 1 year, in lieu of notice. In the meantime, it's up to the bank to try to rebuild its trust with the public.
I think they're way out of touch, quite clearly. The CEO was way out of touch, the chairman was way out of touch.
The AUSTRAC claim looms large over the bank's bottom line as well, with a negotiated settlement likely to exceed $1 billion. Annalise Nielsen, Sky News, Canberra.
Westpac will be ruled out of the Morrison government's first home loan deposit scheme following the money laundering and child sex scandal. Westpac was expected to be one of 2 major banks approved by the National Housing Finance Investment Corporation to lend under the scheme, which starts on the 1st of January. According to the Australian newspaper, the corporation has rejected Westpac's application over reputational risk concerns after major lenders were asked to provide details of any regulatory matters. It's understood the Commonwealth Bank and ANZ will now be considered to replace Westpac's spot under the scheme. NAB's application has already been approved. Smaller lenders will be revealed next month ahead of this scheme being activated.